Hey everybody, it is Steam Summer Sale 2023. It's magical time where games go on sale and you try to pick up new things that you're going to be playing for the next 6 months. And I am here to help you sort through some of these things, help you find some of the great deals out there. We are looking only at the budget games. We are starting with games $10 and under. Then we're going to go to games $5 and under, then $2 and under, then $1 and under, because there is good gaming at every price point here on Steam if you know where to look. All games have been selected from my own personal collection, so if one of your favorites isn't in here, feel free to tell me about it, because I am also looking for nice games my own self. Anyway, let's get after it. Come on now. Here we are. This is our games $10 and under. We're going to start with 20XDX. 20XDX, as you can tell, is a Mega Man style roguelite. I say roguelite even though levels are procedurally generated. It does have that element where progress made on your character build you get to keep after you die. Well, some of the effects are temporary and some of the things are permanent, depending on how you spend the in-game currencies and whatnot to build up your character. Very, very fun game. You won't believe how good the procedural generation is at creating playable levels. This is only $5.99, so barely out of the 5 and under category. We come back, and this one I was a little hesitant to put on there because Akiba's Trip, or Akiba Strip, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is a JRPG, an action RPG. So usually JRPG means turn-based, but yeah, this is an action RPG, kind of Persona-ish vibes, but it has kind of a ridiculous premise in which people are being infected by this demonic power, and the only way to get it out of them is to beat them up and rip their clothes off. Now, there is no nudity in this game. There might be a patch or something if that's something you care about. I don't know if there is or is not, because I've only ever played it the way that it is, but it is a very fun RPG, and the kind of crazy premise makes it even more fun to play. It is $9.99 at 50% off. So next up we have Barony. Barony is a difficult little monkey to learn. I'm not gonna lie to you, there is a steep learning curve on this game. Making it through the tutorial of this game is an achievement unto itself. But once you're in, you can tell it's got those delightful Bloxel type graphics, shades of Minecraft, but it's not really like Minecraft. This game is a lot of it is, roguelike, and so no two playthroughs are the same, and you are going to pick up various power-ups and weapons and things that are going to help your character make it through the dungeon crawling madness. And it is madness. There's some crazy things in this game. Not gonna lie to you. It is very fun, but it is very difficult. There's a steep learning curve on this game. So make no mistake, it is not for the faint of heart, but if it looks like something that you would like, there are a lot of people who love this game. And Barony is on sale now for $9.74. So a good deal there. Battle Chasers Nightwar. This is an RPG that I feel like a lot of people have slept on because it has kind of a generic sounding name. Let's skip ahead and see if we can get some of the actual gameplay, shall we? Or maybe, let's go with this one. This might have more of the gameplay. But anyway, it is a turn-based RPG. There are multiple different characters that you swap through as you make your way through the story of the game. It's fairly linear, but it's also it's really fun. It's really well made, great art style, and I really enjoy it. I feel like it doesn't get enough love. It is currently $7.49. Next up, we have Battle Chef Brigade. This game is adorable. It is so cute. This main character, like, just everything about her is just adorable. Everything she does in the game is like, she's just cute, and I really like her as a character, you know, because, you know, she's one of these, you know, willful daughters who leaves her hometown. She wants to become a great chef, and there's this Iron Chef like competition, and she goes off to be in this competition. And anyway, this game has a little bit of a lot of different things. There is match 3 when you're making your dishes, because you have to make your dishes to suit the palates of your judges. Also, you have to go out and kill monsters to get the ingredients to make your food, because this land is infested with monsters, but they're apparently delicious. So you have to decide, you know, what's it going to be worth, you know, to kill a bigger monster to get more delicious ingredients, but then have less time to cook. You know, there's some real strategy involved, and it is multiple different game styles all wrapped up into one very charming game. It is only $6.99. We come back and we are going to take a look at Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced. I like this particular edition of the game. This is what I have been playing. Borderlands is a game unlike just about anything else out there, because it is a great shooter with RPG leveling, and with an insane number of weapons that you can access in the game. I know that it's, you know, the big thing was like, oh, it's like 1 million weapons. Now, granted, it's just, you know, weapon types. And you're going to see the same kinds of guns again and again. But yeah, there is a lot of customizability in the weapons. The art style is amazing. I'm playing through this game again right now, and I love it every time. It is so much fun. And I know a lot of people have, you know, bones to pick with the other games in the Borderlands series, which is why I did not include them. You can buy them if they suit your fancy or not. But this one, the Game of the Year Enhanced, you get all of the DLC, which is quite a bit of extra content for $9.89. And so, yeah, I really like this enhanced edition. It is what I myself am currently playing. Cities Skylines. Now, this is one that I'm recommending, even though it's not a game that I personally play. A lot of people recommended it, and I don't know. I played SimCity back in the original SimCity days, back before SimCity 2000, back before SimCity 2. I played the original SimCity, and I really loved it, but more than anything, I just loved building up a city and then destroying it with monsters. So if you were actually more into the city planning portion of it, this is a game for you. People are obsessive about this game. There's a lot of DLC. There's a lot of things that you can do in this game. Very well designed. And so if you love this kind of simulator, it is for you. $8.99, Cities Skylines. Most people will tell you get this over anything that SimCity is currently offering because it's better. Anyway, Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is a game that you will, seems like you will either love or you will hate. Some people really hate this game because at any point your entire team could get wiped out. At any point you could wander into the wrong room and you won't know that it's the wrong room until you're already in it, and then you just get critted to death. And that bothers people because people feel like it should be more well balanced than that. This is a roguelike that takes the roguelike portion of it very seriously. So you and your party, you're delving into this dungeon. You have to keep track of your sanity. There's a sanity meter, which is a really cool mechanic, because if you encounter too many scary things, it's gonna, take a toll on your sanity, and your characters may become erratic. They may run off. There's a whole lot of things that might happen here in Darkest Dungeon. It is a very fun game, in my opinion. Some people are not that into it, and that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. It is $7.49. So, next up, we have Darksiders 2 and 3. I'm going to just sort of combine these a little bit. I know that people have their feelings about the different games in the Darksiders series. And what I will tell you is this: Darksiders is an action RPG that is, kind of Souls-ish a little bit, but not as hard as your Dark Souls type of game. But what it really is, it's a really, really interesting story because if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I played the first one. You are a horseman of the apocalypse, and the apocalypse has come to Earth, and you kind of have to deal with it. The horsemen of the apocalypse kind of, have some disagreement about whether or not it's apocalypse time. But then, of course, there are forces that are very much like, oh yeah, it do be apocalypse time. Anyway, so Darksiders 2 is currently $7.49, and Darksiders 3, if I can get back to it, is currently, and we'll take a look here, and you'll see that it's, similar vibes of these action hack and slash type RPGs with the very cinematic feel, very large, difficult bosses and whatnot. So if that's the type of thing that you're into, these games are really good. Highly recommended. $9.99 on the Darksiders 3. So we come back to it. Dragon Age. This is the ultimate edition of Dragon Age Origins. Now, Dragon Age, the other games in the Dragon Age series get mixed reviews and people have feelings about them. Dragon Age Origins is probably the best game in the series. It is a really good open world action RPG. Comparisons to Skyrim are unavoidable, really. But it's a really well-designed game. It's very fun, very good. And this Ultimate Edition, you get all of the DLC, which there is some really, really good DLC for this game, and which just enhances the experience. The other games in this series, kind of a mixed bag. People have different feelings about them, but the original I can highly recommend. I've played all the way through it twice, I believe. It is $8.99, a really fun game and well worth it. Let's see, what do we have next? Dungreed. I just got done reviewing this one for the channel. This game is a silly goose. You have this dungeon that is swallowing up the town. You play as this pixel lady with the jubbly, pixely bosoms. I think it's hilarious that they, animated the jubbliness of her bosom, even though she's just a pixel lady. It is kind of hilarious. Anyway, so there you go, fan service, if that's what you're looking for. Anyway, but you have different attributes that you can power up. This is, quite possibly the roguelitiest of roguelites, because you keep your progression as you go through. Your character build gets stronger with every time that you play through it, and that just makes it more and more fun. Does she have a lightsaber just then? I never got a lightsaber. I have to keep playing it. Oh, but yeah, also, like, you're saving the people from the town and you're rebuilding the town as you go. And as you rebuild the different things, you get different benefits from, opening the academy, and they teach you how to be a better fighter, and opening up shops of various kinds. You get all of these benefits as you go through. It is currently $6.99, and it's a very fun roguelite if you enjoy the roguelite type games. Enter the Gungeon is a roguelike bullet hell shooter. It is very beloved by the roguelike community because it's so well designed, and it it does the bullet hell thing and the procedural generation. It does it so very well, and with such humor, and it's just a lot of charm in this game. Very, very fun to play. Highly, highly recommended, especially if you like bullet hell shooters or roguelikes or both of those things. It is currently $5.99, barely out of the $5 and under category. So, Fallout 4 I can recommend because it's Fallout 4. You've heard of Fallout 4, about Fallout 4. Everybody's heard of it. Post-apocalyptic action adventure, open world, survival and all the other things. It is a game that I have not played yet, if I'm being perfectly honest. I've played other games in the series. I've been trying to play Fallout 3, and it keeps crashing on me, and it's driving me crazy. But yeah, if I ever play through Fallout 3, then I'll finally get around to playing Fallout 4. And I know it's not necessary to play one to play the other, but I'm kind of ridiculous that way. I like to play all the way through a series, and I have played Fallout 1 and 2, the old school games. Anyway, Fallout 4 is $6.59, which is, a really good price on a very beloved game. Freedom Planet, you may or may not have heard of. It started out as a fan-made Sonic the Hedgehog game, and Sega got wind of it, and they said no Sonic the Hedgehog games by anyone but us. And so, and I believe, I could be wrong here, but I think it was a one-man development team who created this. And so after he got told no Sonic, he just went through and made his own character and literally created the best Sonic game in decades. So if you love the old school Sonic the Hedgehog type action, this game has it in spades. It is absolutely well designed and well made. And it's $7.49 for, quite possibly the best Sonic game in ages. So highly recommended as well. Halo, the Master Chief Edition. Now, I am terrible at Halo. I hate to admit it, but it is true. Halo, the first one, came out when I was living outside the United States. I did not have access to an Xbox, and so when I came back, everybody else was really good at Halo, and I was terrible at it. Also, because I'm terrible at playing first-person shooters with a controller, it's all about the keyboard and mouse. Because I'm a PC gamer, and so are you if you're watching this Steam game recommendation list. Anyway, so this allows you to play all those classic Halo games from the Xbox and the Xbox 360 on your PC in an enhanced edition that is remastered, looks great, and you can actually play it and not completely suck at it like I do if I'm trying to play it with a controller. So the Master Chief Collection, look at everything you get. You get Halo, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, and Halo Reach. All for $9.99, some of the most beloved, highly rated first-person shooters of all time for under $10. So that is a steal. Hollow Knight. Oh my goodness. Hollow Knight could very well be the greatest Metroidvania in the history of Metroidvanias. It's entirely possible. I know people who will make that argument. Because, my nieces and nephews and even my children are all about this game. My son has poured hours and hours into it. I've watched my nieces and nephews pour hours and hours into it. I have put a little bit of time into it. I need to just sit down and play through the rest of this game. I need to finish it. But it is a beautiful, beautiful game that is so well designed. It takes all the lessons of all the great Metroidvanias that came before and turns them into a beautiful, beautiful package that you can have for $7.49 on the Hollow Knight. Very, very good game. Let's see, where was I? Noita. Okay, I was talking about my nieces and nephews. This is another game that they love. This is a game, it is an action roguelike with completely destructible environments. And you just sort of have to cope with the environment that you are destroying around you as you make your way through and kill enemies and search for things and make your way through this ever-changing world. It's a really, really interesting game. And my nieces and nephews, there are 3 games that they play like compulsively. This is one of them. This one, Hollow Knight, and Terraria. Between those 3 games, that's where most of their gaming time goes. So, there are people who just love this game. Very highly regarded in the roguelike genre. It is $9.99 at 50% off. Let's see, what do we have next? Owlboy. Oh, Owlboy. I feel like Owlboy has gotten left behind in the world of Metroidvanias. People have kind of forgotten about this one. Came out around the same time that we were getting Hollow Knight and Axiom Verge and all these really cool games. And I think that because Owlboy just, I don't know, kind of fell by the wayside. People didn't get as excited about it. It didn't get as much critical love for some reason. But it is a beautifully made game. It is very fun to play. It's got great story. There is a lot of really, really interesting game mechanics that you get to enjoy in this game. And yeah, it's one of the better Metroidvanias of the last decade. So if you are looking for another good Metroidvania, Owlboy for sure. It's $8.74. Let's see here. Starbound. Starbound is one that my wife picked up for our entire family. I think she got it for us during the last Steam summer sale, and then she has poured more time into it than any of the rest of us. It is basically Terraria in space, pretty much. Like, that is how it has been described to me, and as I've watched the gameplay and have seen how it goes, that is kind of what it is. Terraria in space, pretty much. You know, it has a lot of those same elements, you know, going through the world, picking up materials and weapons and things, enduring boss battles, you know, finding NPCs that can help you out, you know, that kind of a game. So if you want that kind of a gaming experience, if you've played a ton of Terraria and you're looking for something similar, Starbound is only $5.99. And finally, last but not least, Stardew Valley, a game that I hardly need explain to you because it is on everything. It is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. You know, everybody has seen it, heard of it. It seems like. And so, yes, you start from nothing. This is a open world survival craft farming sim with a lot of other things thrown in as well. And you can kind of do what you want to do in the game. And avoid what you don't want to do as well, I suppose. Anyway, but yeah, you're building up a farm, but there's also, you know, some, you know, looting and plundering and fighting enemies and other sorts of stuff like that that you can do as well. So yeah, it's got a lot to it. Yeah, learn to live off the land. Yep. When you go down into the mines and whatnot. Let's see if we can get some do. It's all very okay. Oh yeah, there's a whole story and everything. It is a very beloved game. What more could I say about it? It is $9.89 currently in the Steam sale. Anyway, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, those are our $10 games. If you've been looking at these categories, you can see that there are more and more games coming up. In the other categories, our under 5 category is massive, as it always is. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. It will be coming out next. Thank you for being here for this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.